Right, well I'm intending to stream at 9:30, it's 9:15 now. So let's see if I can get this done in quarter now without too much waffling. So hello everyone, yes, I put my Get video up and I thought, oh, I didn't put the what I brought and who I met and stuff like that into that video, and I thought, oh, I better do it. And I've seen everyone else's videos coming out and I'm thinking, yeah, I really should do it. So, what do I think it gets? Well, I don't know. For me, it was a bit too busy. I think that was sort of one thing. I sort of struggled to get to many layouts for the video so short, so I was really glad to get next to Burnt Island for so long. Later in the day, about the last hour I was there, because that was my favourite layout there. I think it was an absolutely stunning layout. Pete Waterman's one was very nice. That Making Tracks one is very, very nice, very well made. But for me, it's a bit too much. Here's your railway. Not much either side. Now that's transport and everything. Whereas Burnt Island, you had a railway in a setting. You know, a bit more going on with the boats moving around. Boats in situ, simulating moving around. Yes, I'll get it right. They were static. They had effects to make them look like they were moving. You know what I mean? You saw the video. You've seen other people's videos of it. Anyway, so yes, I just wanted to. And I've donned the other T-shirt, the original one I wore on Friday, which has been washed since then, you know, and keeping Charlie from Chadwick's recommendation of trying to stay consistent. I need to do a new version of this with Christopher's hobby blog on it somewhere, because a lot of people try to look at it to see who I was, and it's not me, this isn't the layout. Right, so on the quick subject of layout, we are going to cover it in when I show you some of the items. There's been a third contender now for the title, but I don't know if I'm going to go with it, and I'll explain why when we get to it. So, rather than looking at my ugly mug, and me not actually looking at the camera, looking all around it, let's get to the track, and we'll start actually with the little business cards that I was given. So, give you a hint of some of the people I met, not all of them. Some of those people I spoke to, I didn't get a business card from, but yeah, the ones I have here will give you an idea. And if you seriously, if you haven't subscribed to them, then please do go. They're all cracking people, and that's the one thing I want to say about the meet. Was it's my first meetup of this sort of type in any hobby, and some of the things I really loved about it were the fact that not only was it great to meet everyone, get to see everyone, including group pictures and everything like that, but it was really great that even the people who would obviously come with other YouTubers to the meet, who weren't necessarily model training people themselves, weren't left out. They were still included in the conversation. Everyone was just chatting. There was a great sense of camaraderie there, I thought, and it really made, as I know people didn't really know, some people didn't really know who I was. Obviously Mark from Donegal Dad, yeah. It's funny, everyone's saying the same thing about him, and it's totally true. One of the nicest people you could ever meet in your life. What a top chap. As you know, you were all so friendly. The ones I spoke to also friendly to me. And it's really appreciated, because I knew, apart from Mark, many people are actually going to recognise me potentially. Trying to introduce myself. You might have watched Secure Adventure. That was me. But yes. And to sort of explain that I am sort of new back to British trains. I know I've sort of dabbled every year or so. I know some of OneDrive memories, it's about this time, that, you know, a month or 2 months ago, and then there'll be a gap where I do Japanese again in the OneDrive memories, and then there'll be this month again, and then a little gap at the end towards the end of the month. So I've managed 3 consistent months so far. So, but no, this is where I am. The Japanese stuff, I was asked about it. It's all under here. It's all safe. It's not going anywhere. I would never get that collection together again. So, and there is always a happiness line. Now I've had the method of cleaning the track that Dale passed on to me, which is odorless mineral spirits. I got this one on Smau's website. Also shares a name with the well-known Rainforest. And also from the same place, a tub of Noox, which has got an electrical, which from a company in Chicago, but it's got an electrical contact conductivity. You want a tiny bit of that on it, and that's seen this 00 this Mechlin C-Track done really well. I usually would have to clean this every so often, more often than I have since this little strip up and down was put down, and it's been absolutely top at that. So I'm going to put that on the happiness line. Dale's done really well with that on his layout, the Highball and Hogger. He's done really well with his layout. So I'm going to put it on the happiness line, and hopefully it reduce the amount of time I'm to clean it. It'd be great to see that line back in action, and you know, potentially it could go to a show one day. Who knows? But anyway, so yes, that's what's happened. But otherwise, for Japan, I feel I'm done. I'm not done forever. I'm just done. I've had my fill for now. I'd like to do something else, and I'd like to do something that's been really refreshing for me. Obviously, I used to have a contact in Japan that I could speak to regularly. For one reason or another, that contact's not there as often as it used to be. It is sort of there still, but it's nice for me being able to just want information or want to go and see something. I can actually go and see the trains for a start now. When I want information, it's super easy just to grab a book, look through. It's all in the language I know easily, obviously the language I speak, and yeah, not having to be constantly saying, oh, is this the case, or is this the case, or is this the case? And that's something I'll cover when it comes to the choice of loco. Anyway, I've waffled here for 6 minutes, and 6.5 minutes now. But let's get to seeing the business cards. And I've taken inspiration from the Top Gear boys, the original three of Clarkson, May and Hammond. It's a bit weird though, because they're not the originals, are they? I think Clarkson may be the only original maybe. For those who remember Top Gear in its old days. But anyway, you'll know the reference, but we're not going to do the split because that would be totally unfair to the person whose business cards on that. Anyway, let's get down to it. Right, so here we are. By the piece of track. So you see I've got my Great Western Mogul here, and then you can just see the pannier tank there, the half cab. So anyway, let's bring in the train of infamy, or the train of fame, shall we say? It was called that. I like that, the train of fame. That's pretty good. Anyway, so here we are coming in from the left. So first up, we of course have Lordau. They're in no particular order, by the way, but this is Lordau, Dragon Junction Mark II, Route 7 Railway, Piccadilly Model Railway, obviously that's John, Roberts train set, and Finnerton Central. And then here come my two purchases, a Rapido SECR 6-wheel brake van and Bachmann 4575 class small prairie. Right, so I'm just going to reposition the camera so you can see those a bit more clearly, and we lose the shadow of the frame holding the camera in the first place. So also we lose it somewhat, not entirely. It's still just here on the corner down here. But anyway, so the obviously the prairie, the small prairie tank here. It's Great Western. It's in my favourite livery. It was one of the things I was looking out for, because obviously I was looking for either Great Western LMS or London Midland Region BR to do for the layout. And yeah, I've got 2MT tanks. Wow, the price of those has shot up. I didn't see any of the old split chassis ones, which I'd be more than happy with. This is, I think this is a split chassis, because they're actually not that hard to DCC. They are more awkward, but they're not that hard on the whole. It's just all about making sure things are isolated, you know, and that sort of thing. So, yeah. There's always plenty of shops these days, and that provide a service of fitting a split chassis loco DCC. I know this one here, the Mogul, is a split chassis, and that was DCC fitted for me. So yes, you know, this was a steal at £30. I was very pleased with that. Actually, it's only £3 less than what the brake van cost. So yeah, make of that what you will. Yes, and at that point I thought, okay, I'm doing Great Western now for the layout. This is for the layout in here. In the garage, it's highly unlikely. Severn Valley Railway, they're not called the Severn Valley Railway because it's highly unlikely. It's not highly. It's my representation of Highly as best as I can do it. And we do now have a name for the non-Severn Valley. It's the Hafren Vale. Is it Hafren? Hafren. Yeah, Hafren Vale Railway. Which links to the old English and old Welsh pronunciations. I think Hafren's the Welsh pronunciation, old Welsh word for seven, I think it was, or something like that. Yes, so that's been come up with, so that's brilliant. But anyway, in here, the battle between another Great Western layout, obviously because the Highly Light is going to be mixed, because as the rear railway is mixed. But this one's going to be more prototypical. Anyway, so yes, I saw that and I thought, absolutely, I'm going to have that. If that's the right livery, I just asked to be checked, and I noticed the chap that checked it is formerly of Hattons, and he checked it, opened the box for me, and look, it was the one I wanted. Brilliant, had that, fantastic. The brake van, I can't remember the store it was from. I've seen him around at a few places, but again, it was reduced from the full price of $39.80. Is that 95? 85. Let's have a look. $39.95 to $33.96, which closer to 30 quid I think is more reasonable for these brake vans. I'm not saying they're not worth the $39.95, but 40 quid for a brake van, even if it's worth it, is still hard to stomach sometimes. So yes, 30 was a bit more in the ballpark of where I was, but yes. Now this was inspired by Burnt Island and the fact that they're getting another opportunity to get hold of one of Hatton's fabulous P-Class locomotives. Obviously doing a rerun of them in the Barclays, and I might be getting another Barclay as well at this rate. But the P-Class is on order, and I was thinking an SECR layout. That's the new contender. Now the only issues there is obviously there is only two other ready to run locos for the SECR, and that is the C-Class by Bachmann, which last time I saw one of their South Eastern Charter liveried ones for sale, it was going for an astronomical sum, which you could buy at least one, if not two, sound fitted locos for. So might have to look at potentially trying my hand at a repaint now if I go this route. And obviously the D-Class, is it, that Rails did with Dapol? And again, I don't know, I've not looked for the SECR livery ones of those yet. Now, the idea there was I thought I could do a layout called The Day the Lights Went Out. I literally do it on the day war was declared, and I'll have the papers reading war declared and that sort of thing. But in the light of what's going on in the world at the minute, I don't feel comfortable, I suppose, even though it's a separate part, it's history, but, you know, and it might not bother some of you, but to me, just like, yeah, some people come, I appreciate some people might use channels like this as a way of escaping what's going on in the world a bit, and it just doesn't feel appropriate. So basically that SECR van and the P-Class is going to become part of my highly unlikely heritage fleet. And now will this become a Great Western? I still don't know. I've still got that really to make a mind. Now they don't have a 4575 at the Severn Valley. They have a 45, which is a square tank. So see on this one, you got the tanks that slope down here. That's the easiest thing to spot on the 4575. It's an extended tank and it slopes. So yes, so I think for now what I'm going to do is make it an oldie worldy place, if that makes sense. All the buildings will be suitable for any era from the 1910s onwards. It could be SECR still, really, I suppose. You could, if you thought about it, because you could just do earlier in the 1910s. But yes, it would suit any era then really, and I can just sort of build it. And for now, I will operate a Sub-Zero because the garage isn't ready for me to start anything in there yet. It's not remotely ready. It needs rewiring, needs insulating, needs door needs blocking off, security system putting in, all that fun stuff. So yes, I'll be running this as a Heritage Railway for now. Just not worry about it too much. Now, talking of Heritage Railways, you see, this was a useful segue. I'm sure someone watching is going, hang on a minute, I gave you something, where's that? Ah, give me a second. And that, of course, is this lovely item from Mark Donegal Dad of a pin of Drumbo, the locomotive that was brought back to the centre. I think it was 2 years ago now. That's incredible to see. Incredible. And a lovely item to have. It goes nicely with my book of the Irish Railways that I brought after watching a stream of its launch on Mark's channel, of course. And yeah, fantastic. Love that. And I love all the other ones. The cards, I've decided where they're going. So I'll be able to look at them when I'm playing trains as well. I've got a little wall of train pictures I'm putting up and stuff. It's going to go just near those. And yeah, I think that's that is a lovely item, and it's lovely to that. So yes, like I say, Heritage Railway in here at the minute is the main idea. And actually, a new thought has struck my mind just while I was putting that pin badge there, was it might not hurt to have a more industrial feel maybe to this line, but I've got ideas for industrial railways anyway. But it's this thing I went to Chase Water yesterday and the setup there is pretty good. There's something like that maybe, but I don't want too many heritage railways, do I suppose. So no, I think I'll do my original plan, just try and do that, and then when it comes to the station building and that, then I'll try and make a decision. I mean, Great Western makes sense. I love the Great Western. I am a big fan of the Great Western. To have something that's all in era properly for the GWR, but conversely, you know, I have got that coal tank. It probably wouldn't hurt to do LMR in here. So yeah, but SCCR wouldn't hurt on you know, if I did it say early in 1910, 1912 maybe, like that, 19, oh, basically just up to 1913. Let's not go to the start of the First World War. But yeah, so maybe that is the idea. And I'd say either way, till then it would be operated as a more heritage line, because I don't have the Severn Valley yet to run on anyway. So yeah, and if that's the case, then any engine you see here that's not a South Indian Chatham, which is all of them, or should be all of them, because I don't have one yet, is all part of the highly unlikely theme, you know. And it's, you know, they have a mogul, but it's not this type of mogul. This is the Churchwood one. You can tell by lack of cab window there on the side. That's the easiest way. And they don't have a half cab pannier either. However, they do have this engine. Just here, you just need to see its number. And that's, oh no, you can't. There we are. You see it now? Yeah. 5764 there. That's actually a mainline loco, that one. They do have that one, so that one fits straight away. You know, it's in London Transport livery in a minute. But so that would probably sit on this layout, ironically. But yeah. Anyway, I've waffled on for long enough. It was great to meet you all. I did think that the obviously they can't help the bus breaking down. That's outside of their control. But I did feel that the organisation of the car park and that was a little bit poor. Coming from the north, or the Midlands, you know, north of Milton Keynes, there was no signage to the bowl to say car park this way. There was from the south, where me and a number of other people drove straight past it because the sat navs and that were taking us to a closed entrance. So yeah, that could have been signed better. And I ended up walking down to the centre because it was the bus wait was about an hour and a half. Now they can't help. They also can't help one breaking down. It's the nature of old machinery, not just old buses. But conversely, just to play devil's advocate a little bit, I don't think that 3 vintage buses was actually enough to begin with, and possibly have a reserve. Because in the evening, something I haven't seen mentioned yet, in the afternoon, sorry, evening, whenever. Actually, technically, I saw somewhere evening is technically only after anything after midday. So, or something like that, but I'm sure I'll be corrected if I'm wrong on that one. But yeah, so even ferrying people back in their own cars and paying taxis and Ubers to do it, I think, from what I could see. But there definitely were private cars being used to ferry people back and forth, which, I mean, well done for them pulling out the stops there, but some organisation beforehand may not have heard. But anyway, yes, and I say it was a bit crowded for me. I would like to have seen some of the layouts I've seen on people's videos. I've gone, I didn't even see that was there, you know. But a bit like Dino said, it was more about meeting other people, and that was lovely to meet you all. And hopefully by next time, or next meetup at Whalley, I think people are talking about it. Let's get that going. I saw it on Piccadilly Model Railways channel and said, you know, he said something about it. I thought, that'd be cracking, yeah, let's get a meetup at every show we can, you know. It's a great opportunity, and I'll be there. Maybe even with a new t-shirt by now. Actually has my channel name on it. So yes, you know, it'd be great to meet more people, and hopefully people might know who I am a little bit more better as well, a bit more familiar with some of them. I'm going to try and drop in as many streams and videos and that. I've got you all on bells now, so I'll get every video I should be able to pick up and run with. Anyway, let's finish this. I'll just pan the camera around nastily like this. Sorry about the creaking. Let's have a double-headed departure of 5764 and 5555. So good they numbered it twice. Right, thanks for watching. Oh, no, maybe not. They don't want to play together. And now it's going to be an absolute sod, isn't it? Can't you see? What's going on there? There we go. Thank you again for watching. Take care all.